Hi, I'm Andrea,
And my name's Lauren.
and we're from Monroe Community Mental Health Authority. We're here for another Take Care Tuesday to talk with you guys about self-compassion. Lauren, do you know what self-compassion is?
When I think of self-compassion, I just think of it's kind of like how you talk to yourself in a positive way, in a friendly way, kind of like how you would talk to your best friend.
Yeah, so maybe like if your friend doesn't do well on their test and they aren't feeling good, what are some of the things maybe you would say to them?
Probably like it'll be okay, you can get through this, you're still smart, you're still my friend, things like that. Making sure that they know that even if they didn't do well on their test, that they still are, a good friend and they're still smart.
Right. So you're saying it's important that even if you don't do well on a test, maybe you would say those things to yourself?
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily something, it can be hard to say to ourselves sometimes because we feel really down, but it's definitely important to practice and make sure that we're trying to say those nice things to ourselves.
Yeah. Do you have any examples that you can think of about a time that maybe somebody had to really practice self-compassion and, give themselves a lot of positive self-talk?
So I'm thinking of with the championship games coming up and the Super Bowl and all of those fun things, there was a football player who was last pick in the draft. His name was Mr. Irrelevant, I think is what they called him. And now he got picked to play for the San Francisco 49ers, and he's the QB for them. And he is now playing in a championship game, and he's doing very, very well, right? So I think that when he was looking at the draft and was like, man, maybe I'm not going to get picked, maybe I'm really not that good, I'm sure he had to practice using some self-compassion and to try to make himself, not feel so down, maybe not feel so bad about himself, like tell himself that he's still a good football player, still a good QB, all those things.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure that's super relevant, right, to the kids that we're working with, because sometimes we're maybe in gym class and we have to pick for dodgeball and you're the last person picked, right? And so sometimes we don't always feel great or we make mistakes, and we have to really be able to talk and tell ourselves that we're still awesome, even though maybe we weren't the first person to get picked this time. So what do you think maybe some strategies are that the students we're working with can use in the next week to try and have more positive self-talk and really practice self-compassion?
Well, I think with Valentine's Day coming up, that a good idea would be maybe writing a little love note to yourself or something that maybe that you struggle with, like a positive version of that maybe you would say to a friend. So maybe if you struggle with feeling like you're not good at sports, you could write that, hey, I'm still, my friends still want to play games with me, or I am good at running, or, just something that you're good at to remind yourself that, hey, maybe you're not, skip.
Yep. Even if you wrote down something, you hear your family say something really nice about you, or your teacher could tell you that you're doing really well in math. That could be something you could write down just as a reminder that you are doing really well and you're awesome.
Yeah.
So I think for the students that we're working with, I think over the next week, if you do take some time, maybe take a sticky note and write something down that is positive and that really shows that you're practicing self-compassion and you care about yourself and you really want to be kind to yourself because it makes you feel better.
Yeah, I think that's
Final thoughts?
great idea. I think that's a great idea, and definitely something really easy to do, something really quick, and it can just be a really great way to keep yourself in a happy, positive mindset, especially, in school and all of those things.
Yeah, because I think when you really practice self-compassion, you'll start to feel better about yourself, and I think it'll show and make you look, seem a lot happier and feel happier.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that'll wrap it up for this week, and we'll be back next week to talk more about self-compassion and some other strategies that you can use.